Hello everybody, Nikki from Gracie's house here. I'm coming live for you as a brand ambassador for Couture, and I'm hoping to see some of you on Instagram, and I'm hoping to see some of you on Facebook. You might also be watching through my Gracie's house page on Facebook. If you are, just to let you know that I won't see those comments, so I will catch up with those afterwards. But I try and do this cross post thing. So those of you on Facebook, if you're watching on my page, then I won't see those comments. All other comments I will try and deal with as I go along. I can see people coming on, I can see people on both. Brilliant. Hello everybody. Is it warm enough for you? Who's in the UK experiencing our current heat wave? It's very, very lovely. I'm not going to complain too much, just a small amount, because it's so hot in my workshop. That's it, I'm done. Patricia, hello my lovely, how are you? Okay, let's get cracking. Look at this gorgeous piece. Donna, hello. So I don't know how many people have seen, I had this photographed bare naked, and I've made a few additions. So I have done a base coat. Donna, I know, ooh. So look at these. So this was here, this was on this piece. I've added some knobs because somewhere along its life, the knobs had been removed. Don't know where they were. I've added moulding, so we have some here. We've got these corner pieces. I've added all of this. I've added this big piece here, and then the same on my back pieces. Sharon, you're in Scotland. You're loving the weather. It tends to be, you get much longer days even than us, I think, because you're further north. Hi, Shelley. So I wanted to get it to a place where we could have some fun. So I'm going to have some fun with you. Those of you the morning, I'm the afternoon. It's 1 o'clock for me. This is the sort of look we're aiming for. This back panel here. So we've got sea glass. Let me go through the colours we're going to be working with. So we have sea glass. That's our base coat. We have Lake Norman blue. Little bit of that we're going to use. We have Russian red, and we have Caribbean coral. So we've got some funky colours going on here. You know me, I'm not afraid of colour. Mary, hello from Grimsby on Canada. That lovely. Yes, that reminds me. Everyone that's watching, tell me where you're watching from. Drop a hello in the comments. Let me know that you're there. So this is 2 coats of sea glass. I've done that little piece so that you know kind of the direction we're going in. There's still a little bit of work to be done on this one, but I was having a little bit of an experiment. Sometimes I experiment with you. Sometimes I like to have a little bit of a play first, just so that I really know that it's going to go in the direction I want it to go in. So here we go. I'm going to move that a little bit because that's what we're working on. I'm going to get Lake Norman open, and I'm going to get sea glass open, so that we're just going to kind of finalise that base coat first. I'm going to pop them down on the ground. For this one I'm using mostly blue ice brushes, but Audrey, hello from Canada. But don't be too worried about what brushes you're going to be using. For some of these details I used a chip brush. Oh, look at that. Blob on the floor. Straight away a blob. Where's my wipes? Messy already. I will clean that one up because that's a big blob. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to go in with my ovals for blue ice, are my favourite ones. You can see we've got quite a lot of coverage pretty much done. I'm not too fussed. This is going to be my outdoor bar. There's a little bit there where I was probably a bit keen when I got the second coat on, and it pulled a little bit of the first coat up. So we've just got some little tinkering to do. And hello Erin, my lovely, how are you? So I'm going to have 2 brushes on the go, and we're just going to work the Lake Norman blue to give ourselves a little bit of a frame, and then we'll fill in with the sea glass, and then we'll go in with the red and the coral. From North Yorkshire, amazing. Oh, lovely, thank you. Talented. Oh, okay, so let's see. I've got, yeah, these are both the long bristle ovals. They also do another one that's got shorter, much stiffer bristles, but both brilliant. So I'm going to go in with Lake Norman blue, and up against the sea glass, it's almost got a lavendery sort of lilac quality about it, I think, personally. So I'm just really going roughly. I'm not being too precious about where I'm going. I want my frame, and then I'm going to go and sea glass over the edges, and we'll get that blend going and make it a bit more of a subtle mix there. Can you see? So I'm not using a third brush, I'm just using my 2 brushes that I have on me to give us that blend. Now, just to let you know, I'm not sure anyone's monitoring today, so it will just be me dealing with the comments. So I will catch everything as well as I can. Nancy, these colours are lush, aren't they? They've sort of got mermaid qualities to them when you put these two together. But being in the sort of bluey greeny family, that's probably where the mermaid thing comes in. But can you see, I'm really not, that's it. I'm not making too much of a faff with the blending here. And that's it. It's just a little bit of work there. That's all I'm doing. So some of it's solid colour, some of it has blending. I'm just going over that roughly with my Lake Norman blue. It's a really, really pretty blue, Lake Norman, and depending what you put it with, how it pops. It definitely has, like I said, a sort of lilac-y, lavendery quality about it, I think, when you put it together with sea glass. So can you see, I'm just getting those colours close to one another, and then I'm just working them together to give us our frame. But I am working relatively quickly. Loving the pop of colour. Erin, you missed right at the beginning, didn't you, my darling? So this was the only piece that was part of this. I've added this, all of this, the corners, the fountains, and this big piece at the bottom. All of that's been added. Patricia, they're great colours, aren't they? Really, really lovely, vibrant, like carnival colours, I think. So like I said, we're just filling in if there was any bits that I missed, which is entirely possible. We're just going to catch those now. So what I'm going to do with you, you've got an extra live out of me this week. Did you know that? Because I'm away. So to make up for missing me live for a couple of weeks, I'm giving you an extra one this week, and you'll have an extra one for the 2 weeks after I get back. So we're gonna do a bit of this today, and then we're gonna hopefully finish it off tomorrow. So it's kind of a 2-part live, this one, which is fun. So you get to see the progress. I'm just gonna put some more blue into that corner and then waft a bit over. So I'm doing my fairy wing wafting just to give myself a little bit of colour through that bit of added detail. Okay. I'm just going to do a very, very rough coat over my moulding just to make sure I've got into all of those nooks and crannies. And we're just going to work that way. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put some of our Lake Norman through here. We'll have a look in a minute whether we're going to do that. Oh my goodness, it is so hot. I'm just going to have get a bit closer to the screen there. Tonya, hello. I couldn't read your name from back there. I'm sorry. that you can still see what I'm doing. So we are doing, you know, it's a relatively rough blend, and you'll start looking back at it and going, oh, it's a bit patchy. Actually, it's not. What if you can see some sort of streaking going on down here? This is where you've got a little bit here that's still wet, but the rest is the rest is leveling out as it starts to dry out. And it's so warm, everything's drying super quick too. Hence, I'm working relatively quickly. We do have to work. You know, paint couture does dry very quickly anyway, so we do have to work relatively quickly, but even more so at the moment. I just want to put some highlight over there. I'm going to say highlight, that's probably not the right word because it's not lighter, but that's what we're going to use. Filling in these gaps, get that blend over the top there. I'm quite liking that some of the sea glass in those details is still coming through as well. I'm just going to have to come over to the screen to see. There's a biggish comment there. You're a newbie to furniture painting. Can you tell me how do you keep them from the brush marks and how do you prep sand? And do I prep sand? Yeah, so the brush marks, using a paint like Paint Couture will be a brilliant starting point because it has amazing self-leveling properties, even to begin with. So I've done several projects recently where I've tried to create texture, and actually it's tricky. If you haven't got a texture additive, it's really tricky because the leveling properties are just so incredible that they're almost constantly fighting against you. So using Paint Couture is a great way to not have brush strokes because it self-levels as it dries. The second thing is to get yourself a good quality synthetic brush. So these Blue Ice ones, zebra brushes are really good, but just something that's got very, very fine filaments, you know, at the end of the brush, because that will, just making sure I've got the right one. When you've got a brush, I've got a chip brush to hand. There's a chip brush. So when we talk about chip brushes, this is what we're talking about. Tend to be natural fibres, natural bristles. This is kind of a chalk painting brush that's going to give you texture. So if you have a brush that's got much finer filaments, so that's a flat one, it's going to help you with a smoother brush stroke free finish. So I hope that helps answer those questions. Always try and paint in the direction of the wood grain. That will help you as well. You just, you know, there's certain things that you can do to stop fighting against, like the nature of your pieces. And I do want this to have, I've made a bit of a splatter down there. And I do want this to, I don't want this to be completely perfect. I want this to have a bit of a quirky, worn out, you know, this is, like I said, this is the look we're going for. So I do want to have a bit of interest. Get my leg out of the way. Need to do a little bit of a blend there where I've missed doing that. Sorry, I've just realised my leg's probably right in the way there. And then we've got a big space here of sea glass to fill up. Again, we're going to go over here, make sure we've got all our nooks and crannies from the different angles, because I probably was painting from a different angle. You need to look at your piece from all those different angles, especially when you've got mouldings on. Cindy, it's a great blue, isn't it? Deb, your colour choices and start on this piece. Do you know what? I just wanted to go a bit bonkers, and I love it. I love it. And I was a bit nervous because my husband, when we got this out of the storage, he said, "Oh, I don't know if you should paint that." Ooh, no, I hate those words. And he came down to the workshop yesterday when I'd added the sea glass, and he was absolutely blown away. And then when I showed him that door, he was blown away again. So it's really cool that actually he's decided, because I was nervous. This is probably quite far out for my husband, really. But I just wanted to have some fun with it as well, and try some new techniques with a little bit of dry brushing, just a little bit of layering, and just to show you, you know, paint couture is awesome for a clean finish because of the built-in top coat. It's got an absolutely beautiful touch when it's dried. It's fantastic. But you can still do creative things. I'm really keen for people to experiment and try different types of finishes, even though it's a really, really clean finish paint. Cindy, we do normally know what's best. You're absolutely right. And in general, I would say my husband is very much of the happy wife, happy life motto, and doesn't get involved hugely. But being that this is a bar, he generally likes to be involved in the drinking of, you know, drinking in the sun. So, and just a reminder, if anyone's catching this over on Gracie's House page on Facebook, that I won't be seeing your comments, so don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm really not. So this side that we've done over there, that's dry. We're just waiting for this bit. I feel like I want to do something here in the blue. Yes, Cindy, yeah. So I'm just going to have a little bit. Now, I'm really not loading my brush up with much, and I'm actually going to get a piece of kitchen roll, which I'm running Scario on. Let's just carry some up. And I'm almost going to dry brush rather than blend on this bit, I think. I'm just going to run. Oh, yes. I like that. So it's not really, really, really dry brush, but it's literally just picking up the highlights of my moulding, and it's really cute. I'm going to do the same across the side, but like, we are going to be layering, so we're going to be adding red through here as well, and the coral. We're going for it on this piece. It's just very subtle. You may not even pick that up onto the camera. I'm not sure. Actually, I think you probably are. And I'm just going to do the same down here. I made a load of moulds because I wasn't sure which ones. So as I was making them and I was kind of placing them on, I had it laid on its back so that I could place them all down and moving them around, and I had some different scrolls, but I really, really loved building up the design on this to add like a ton more interest, and it was a really, really cool piece anyway. Really cool. Nice, like that. We've got some there. Let's just finish the feet off, and then while the rest is drying, we can then go in with the red and the coral. And I'm going to do a little bit more layering of the red and the coral over on that piece as well, because I did it while it was all sort of not that, it was all still quite wet when I did it before. So we'll go in and do a bit more over there. So what's everybody doing? Are you enjoying the sun if you're in summertime? Let's just wipe that bit of paint off the floor. You wouldn't believe it, this is my staging floor. I really need to get some more laminate because I've made quite the mess of it. Let's have a look over there, make sure I'm not missing any comments, guys, because obviously I think I've caught everything. Yeah, I think I have. Oh, hang on, is that a question there? Boop, 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 boop. Oh no, I've covered everything. Okay. Let's just do another little waft. So at the moment, without the addition of the coral and the red, it has got a mermaid quality to it, don't you think? But we're going to throw on our red and our coral, and it will just give it such another dimension. It's going to be awesome. So, which brushes have I got? I'm just going to do these edges because I've actually neglected up here. So these open up. So we have another one like this that opens up underneath to support that. So it's my Gracie's favourite. Like, she just stands behind it when we have people around and pretends to take drink orders. She loves it. So she's going to love it even more. Now we've done this, I'm actually just going to paint the top while, or the flaps, just while we're waiting for the rest of that to dry. It'll only take a short while. And then I think what we're going to do tomorrow as part 2 of working on this piece is we're going to add some metallics. But that's going to have to wait till tomorrow because I want to make sure that everything we do today is really good and dry. And then we're going to have some fun with metallics as well. I haven't decided which ones. In fact, let's do a little. Let's just do a little question. What would you add to this? What metallic would you add? I'm thinking it's probably in the gold family, but obviously with Paint Couture, there's so many amazing metallics. Just saying gold isn't enough. Is it pale gold, French gold? Is it champagne? Stardust? Might be a little bit too pale. I feel like it's got to be something richer than that. What do you think? Which gold would you guys go for? Let's see. Oh, copper. Oh, Erin. Oh, that would be nice. It is a fun piece, isn't it? I was given this, and I know the lady that gave it to me. She's keeping her eye out to see what I do with it, because she's seen that I dug it out of storage a couple of weeks ago, and I saw her at school, and she said she can't wait to see what I do. Deb, so you're another copper? Yeah, I think you could be right, girls. It's quite, and it is a full-on copper, so yeah, it would definitely add. Oh, I've got paint on my t-shirt. I was really trying to be good. I mean, I really must stop painting in not painty clothes, because then everything becomes painty. So bad. So you can see how quickly this is drying. The front piece, you can probably see where the patches that are dry and the colours that as it dries, it will slightly darken, deepen down. Most of the colours in Paint Couture are pretty true to colour. The only one that really is a bit misleading, if you're looking at it in the pot, is the Midnight Blue, because it looks a lot brighter and it dries to a proper navy. Everything else is good. Okay, so that's had another coat up there. Let's have a look and see how we're getting on. But it's really, really effective. I'm going to have to just getting a bit warm, guys. Sorry. Oh, have a little drink. What we got there, Erin? You've just got the remainder of the metallics. I'm stoked to use them now. Oh, so you had a few that you didn't have in your stocks, and you've just topped everything up, have you? Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Russian red. And again, we are not looking at being perfect here at all. Let me just see if I can get this off my t-shirt. Because Paint Couture is so good, I know that won't come up in the wash if I just leave it. Got a bit of it off. It might be saved. It might be saved. I've got a little bit left. Okay, hopefully. There we go. I think we've got most of that. Right, sorry about that, guys. So we're not looking for perfect here. We're looking for a bit rustic, a bit quirky. I'm trying to think of some other descriptive words that are going to fit the style that we're aiming for. So at the moment I'm using paints like day in, day out. I'm mixing colours. So I would be stirring again the metallics, but these, I'm using them so frequently, I don't really need to do a proper stir because I do it most days anyway. And these were all done yesterday. Okay, so we have, oh, look at that, look at the coral. It is almost luminous. The coral is gorgeous. And we have our Russian red, okay? So I love the combination of turquoise and red and turquoise and coral. It just makes me think of kind of, you know, like the gemstones, like turquoise and coral look lovely in necklaces together. And, you know, these are great because they're nearly opposite each other on the colour wheel. So that's why it's such an impact when you put those two colours together. So they're just very cute. And where's my other brush? Oh. Do you know what? I already had a brush with blue on. Anyway, let's go to here. So, yeah, like a very carnival-y, festively type combination, I think. I'm not going in with too much red. I've dipped it right in, but these thinner blue ice brushes don't hold huge amounts of paint, and that's perfect for what I'm doing now. So this is going to be very kind of roughly added on. We're not going for, look at that, how that pops against it. Amazing. Cindy Coral and those blues feel Mediterranean. Yeah, there's like a whole holiday vibe, isn't there? But look how that pops, and look how it picks up the highlights in our trims there. Just fab. So you can see I'm not going for smooth here. I'm going for impact and texture. But texture in kind of brush strokes. That's going to sound weird. It's visual texture. It's not, because I promise you, once you've finished, you'll run your hand over it and it will still feel flat. It's a visual texture to make it visually interesting. So I'm just running it through creases. It pops. It gives the blue depth. It gives the turquoise some depth. And I'm trying to do it in a relatively sort of haphazard, random way. And just where I sort of fancy it, really. So what do you think so far? Is this a sort of look and technique that you would consider using, or maybe you would now? I'm going to run my brush again over my, oh, that looks gorgeous. I just like want to eat it, it's scrummy. I love it. Okay. And I'm going to go over my bar bit to highlight the fact that it's the bar. So I've almost dry brushed that bit again, a little bit like we did with our Lake Norman blue. but I do want to add a little bit brighter. And this looks really bright, and then you wait till we go in with the coral as well. Woo! It will pop like you won't believe. Okay, and we're going to go in here as well and highlight that, obviously. So these flat ones are good because you can get the amount, you can get just a little bit of paint, not quite dry brushing, but almost. And you can, if you hold it like flat to the set, it will just pick up those highlights. So it's just about the angle that you're holding your brush to achieve this sort of finish. I'll just see a comment's just popped up. Sharon, you're loving the colours. I am digging this colour combo big time. Big time. Let's just see. What I don't want to do is I don't want it to be completely symmetrical. So that's why I've gone a bit heavier here and here. And this bit's sort of off centre. What I don't want to do is match what I've done here over here. I'm going to highlight these, but I don't want my red here. Does that make sense? I don't want it to be. Rosie, hi there, sweetie, you alright? So I'm going to go on the inside on this side. And I'm still going to just go across my mouldings. Okay, ooh, I need a fan on the go. And then let's come up here. Try and just get out of the way for you guys. So I'm keeping my rag by me just in case I decide I, want to dab off some. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that. So we've covered up some of the bits that we've blended, but I don't mind that. I'm going to do a bit across that edge. There we go. That line just didn't look right. Okay, and I think I'm going to do a bit down on this edge as well here. Just see if I've missed a comment, I think. What is the temperature here? I don't know. I'm going to say it's supposed to be about 27, 28 here, but I would say it's probably 4 degrees higher than that in my workshop because literally it's pouring off me. I have to be careful not to dab with a bit that's got paint all over. But and the thing is, if I decided I wasn't happy with that, then I can just go back in and paint again. I can just go back over it with the sea glass. It's there's no great shame about painting something that you're not happy with how it's gone. It's just paint. It is just paint. Okay, I'm happy with where we are with the red. Let's go back in with the coral. I say back in. Let's go in. I'm going to have to grab myself another brush because I used one of the ones that was supposed to be for the coral. I used it on the blue. So that's the perfect brush. I've got another thin blue ice one, so that's grand. That's exactly what I need. Julie, hello sweetie, how are you? Oh, crikey, 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 crikey. How are we doing for time? We're doing good. Okay. So what temperatures everybody experiencing the last few days? It's not just us, I know, I think everyone's having a bit of a heat wave. So we're going to basically do the same with our Caribbean coral as we did with our red. And I'm keeping my brush. Look at how that pops. Can you see that? Oh my God, I love it. You don't think you could work in the temperature? Good for you that you can. Oh, persevering, yeah. Well, do you know what? Sometimes you've just got to. Oh, it just makes it, this coral just gives it so much more dimension. I absolutely love the that added extra pop of colour. And I have to say, this is one of the best coral tones straight out of a pot that I've ever used. It's just so punchy and so strong, it's brilliant. You're still waiting for Paint Couture to arrive. So you've ordered some, have you? So I'm being even a little bit more light-handed with this, because you really don't, I'm not going to be going on with these big streaks like the red. As the red dries, can you see it's toning down a little bit, but that makes our coral pop even more when we add that over the top. And I can't wait to do these mouldings. I'm like, it's crazy exciting. Oh my goodness. Oh, I absolutely adore it. And you know what? It's like, I know you can see what I'm doing, but when you see some of these close-up shots once this is all finished, it's just beautiful. The depth it's giving, and it gives the turquoise, you know, from the sea glass, it's just giving it all the feels, as they say, as the cool kids say. I'm going to pop, I feel like I'm going to pop a bit of coral through here. I just think it can, yeah, I like it. Maybe I am going to put coral in over the red as well. Not to cover it up, just to add some more. Just to add some more of stuff. More layers, more building up. I like that. Okay, let's just move over. I'm going to move over. I'm going to cover this side because I'm just going to be working over here now. Just making sure we've got everything going. And popping the coral on. Oh, delish. It's the coral and the blue are beautiful next to each other. The coral, so Lake Norman blue, the coral and the sea glass are beautiful next to each other. Like I said, against the blue, it looks like it's fluorescent, that coral. A little bit up through there, on that edge, tiny bit there. Ooh. I feel like I need a bit more red on that bottom moulding. What do you think? Rosie, you're loving all of it. Thank you. I think I need some more red here. Yeah, wow. It's like the coral and the red are almost kind of shading each other as well. Wow, 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 wow. All through there. Okay, I love it. I love, love, love this. I'm so pleased how this is coming out. I'm going to pop some coral down here. I just fancy it. And it's really, you know, like I said, you just experiment with how things start to come together. If I don't like that, I can paint back over that once it's dry. I wouldn't do it now because I don't want to muddy the colours. But I'm just going to stand back and have a little look at the balance. And yeah, I think that's okay. I'm quite liking that we have this nice big area here that's just the sea glass. I don't want it to be, I mean, it's busy. Don't get me wrong, I know it's busy, but I quite like that we've got a little bit of calmness going on around here and balance. So I'm really, really pleased how we've got to here now. I definitely need to get some reading glasses. Nina, thank you. So I'm going to leave it there with you guys today, so you can see where we're going with it. I've done the tops. I'm going to need to unfold those and just do, I don't know if I'm going to do those plain. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that today. it might be easier just to do those plain and leave, you know, the main attraction over here. I'll tell you what I will do before we go. Let me just see, Instagram peeps. Let's move this a little bit. Oh, I need to get my wheels. Okay, let's just see if you can see that. Yes, everyone can see that. I'm just going to do a little bit more dry brushing over here now that this one's dry, because I was a bit keen yesterday. So I started adding, before it was properly dry, naughty. So I'm going to go back in with my coral. That's better. And these cool, cute knobs I got, I did a commission ages ago, and it was a set of, I think it was 4 drawers, and I have 8 of these with these carved details, and I hadn't used them, so I thought I think they'll look really, really cute on this. And I love them. I think they do look really, really cute on this. That's better. Yeah, where I hadn't let it dry, it was just a little bit muddier. So it's popping a little bit more now. And we can add a bit more red as well. Let me just see. Hi from West Texas. Hello. And I'm going to just pop a bit more red through around the edges, down here. And on here I did some sanding back as well, because as I said, I don't want this to be completely perfect. I want it to be a bit scruffy and a bit battered. So I did some sanding back as well. So we'll do that over here and then we'll call it a day. And then tomorrow we'll pick up again and we'll do some of the detail work, and maybe, I don't know, there might be a glaze in there somewhere as well. So let's just, I'm just going to use a sanding pad. I've just got, this one's quite rough. This is like 120 grip-ish sanding pad. I'm just going to go back in. I'm not going to go near my mouldings because obviously they're resin, so they will sand back to white, which I don't want. I might need a rougher sanding pad. Yeah, I do. Oh, do you know what? It's so hard work because I painted this yesterday in Paint Couture. It's tough, man. I'm going to have to use my electric sander on that, so I won't do that live. But I'm going to take it back on those corners, up those edges. I will do a little bit through here. That's working not too bad, colours in the blue. Take those bits back a little bit on these edges. You know, that kind of sympathetic distressing, where the high points where it would naturally wear over time. So we'll do that. And tomorrow we're going to work with the metallics to add some more depth and whatever else I can think of to add to it tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'm going to give you a little recap of the colours that we used today on my bar makeover. So I'll put the lids on as we go. So this is the main colour is Sea Glass, which is the awesome sort of turquoisey colour. We did some framework in Lake Norman Blue, which is a beautiful blue, and it has kind of given us that Mediterranean-y feel. And then we did some sort of scruffy highlights with the Russian red. That one. And the real full-on pop of colour over the top to give more dimension is the Caribbean Coral. Gorgeous, all fantastic colours. Get yourself some Paint Couture if you haven't already tried some. It has, like I said, it has amazing self-leveling properties. It's got a built-in top coat. It's really tough, guys. It's really tough. It's lovely to work with. It has, even before a top coat, it's got just a really nice feel to it. I personally love the way the paint feels without even adding a top coat to it. But of course you can add a top coat if you need to. Excellent. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to rework. We're going to carry on with this. We're going to carry on this project and hopefully bring it to its conclusion. And then you're not going to see me for 3 weeks. And then you get double of me for 2 weeks after that. Thank you as always for taking the time out to join me. If you haven't already, pop over to Gracie's House on Facebook or on Instagram. I should say that the other way, Facebook here and Instagram there. And drop some love over there. If you haven't already joined the Paint Couture Showcase group on Facebook, please go and join that as well. There's lots of projects being shared in there. We love to see any projects, and sometimes they get shared on the Paint Couture page as well. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining in. Thanks guys, bye.